are public figures. They can speak for themselves. First then, Tita Cory's generous selflessness. For us this morning, what is surely most to the point is her love of country. When her final illness struck her, she said, and most recently at the Green Meadows Chapel, that she was offering her suffering first to God and then for our people. I am told that grandson Jiggy asked her, why first for country and people? And she said always the priority lineup was God, our country and our people, and then the family. On radio the other night, the commentator asked an old woman in line why she stood hours in the rain to get into La Salle. Ito lang ang maibibigay ko po sa kanya bilang pasasalamat. Bakit? Ano ba ang ibinigay ni Cory sa inyo? Di po ba ang buhay niya, ang buong sarili po niya, at di po ba ang pag-asa? Kaya mahal na mahal po namin siya. Early on TV, they ran many times the clip from a last interview where she says, I thank God for making me a Filipino, and then I thank all of you for making me one of you. I cherish this as one of the truly great gifts I have received. This was a few weeks before her death, when she could say that without any put-on or the least insincerity. I thank you for making me one of your own. Her selflessness, her self-gift, Pope Benedict likes to say that the God whom Jesus Christ revealed to us is Father. The Father who is wholly self-gift. The God whose essence is to give himself. To give himself to us, first of all in his Son. And the Pope says that is what is the meaning of Jesus, and by discipleship what Christian life is meant to be. We Christians too must give away ourselves in love. In the last days, when finally and reluctantly she admitted that she had much pain, I kept thinking that only a couple of weeks before, for the first time publicly, she said that she was trying to join her pain with the pain of Jesus, and that she was offering it up for all of us. Secondly, her faith. Pinky says it was her mother's greatest strength. It was what was deepest in her. Her faith was her bedrock, and it was bedrock. Frederick Buechner, that pastor and novelist, likes to say he's had many doubts, even deep doubt, daily doubt. But I have never really looked down deep into the abyss and seen only nothing. Somehow I have known that underneath all the darkness and the shadows, there are the everlasting arms. I think Cory's faith was like that. Not in the multiplicity of doubts, even if they were there too, but in the certainty of the everlasting arms. More than once she told me, every time life painted me into a corner with seemingly no escape, I always turned to God in trust. I knew he would never abandon me if I trusted in him. And you know, somehow, he found the way out for us. And so Pinky says, Mom was always calm, even in the most trying times. She trusted that God would always be there for us. She was our source of strength. She made this world seem so much safer and less cruel for us. And now that our strength is gone, we have to make our faith something more like hers. But we know in our hearts that in every storm, she will walk to heaven. Within this faith was her devotion to Mary, the place Our Lady of Fatima and the Rosary held in her life. All we can say on this morning is that Our Lady truly had a special living presence in her life. Mary was for Cory true mother, an incomparable friend. She was, as we say in the hymn, vita dulcedo et spes, life, sweetness, and hope. No, not the center of her faith, but its air and its atmosphere, and the Rosary, her lifeline through every trial and crisis. In the long, harsh months of her illness, Sister Lucia's beads almost never left her hands. She was holding them as last Saturday was dawning and her years of exile were at last done, when she knew her Lady would show unto her the blessed truth of her womb. Lastly, her courage, her strength. Her children tell us that their father was only able to do what he wanted to do because her love and her support for his purposes were total. So she practically raised them up as a single parent. Ninoy himself wrote again and again that he endured imprisonment and persecution, leaning on her courage and love. And after his death, when she could have withdrawn in a way safely to her own life with her children, she stayed on her feet and fought on in the years that followed, through the snap elections that went before and what went before and after them, through her presidency and the 7 coup attempts which tried to bring her down. Even after she had given up her rule, could she not have said enough? And we would all have understood, but not the least desire for position or power again. Whenever she thought freedom and the true good of our land involved, she returned to the streets of struggle. Once again, she led us out of the apathy we so readily fall into. Here, even hesitantly, may I add one trait, one virtue to those her daughters have named. One day, Cardinal Stephen Kim of South Korea asked if he might visit her. Through ballsy, she said yes. It was the day Malacanang was closed. They were making up the list of members for the forthcoming Constitutional Convention. One of the staff ordered us turned away when they arrived. It was Ballsy who rescued us. Stephen Kim, a saint and hero to his people, perhaps along with Cardinal Sin, the greatest Asian churchman of our time, spent some 45 minutes talking with her. When we were on our way back, he said, "I know why the Lord has entrusted her with power at this most difficult time. It is because she is pure of heart. She has no desire for power. Even now it is with reluctance she takes it on. And she has done it only because she wants to do whatever she can do for your people." He said, "She truly moves me by the purity of her spirit. God has given a great gift to your people." With this purity of heart in the scheme of the Christian gospel, there is joined another reality which really only the